Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought we would do a video talking about the XF5U and the Dreams Come True event, how to basically complete it and also do it kind of efficiently, and also having fun with it, which I think is one of the most important things in terms of these events. When it comes to War Thunder, if you're not having fun, then obviously you're doing something wrong, and it is much better to find things that you enjoy, so therefore you'll do more of them, instead of basically doing the same things over and over again, which don't make you happy. And therefore, in these types of videos, I try and talk about things that I've enjoyed, and also things that I've seen other people enjoy. So it kind of helps people out. Now, first of all, one of the most important things during these types of events is community. Community is incredibly important, and it's one of those things which is very much undervalued when it comes to War Thunder. We talk about War Thunder as a game which is run by solo players in a team environment, which is very true. Most people do play solo, and generally just kind of play by themselves. But one of the things about air battles is there is some downtime, especially when you play realistic or simulator, and it's a good time to kind of socialize with people or cooperate, whether that's in Discords or whether that's in other areas. And during this event, we're going to be streaming quite a lot. We'll be streaming on Twitch and also the second YouTube channel, so if you want to come along, if you need like a little bit of a pep talk, or if you just need to kind of chat to people, this would be a perfect opportunity to do it. So come along to the streams while the event's going on, and you'll have a good time with it, and generally just kind of relax and play these types of things. So with the XF5U, there are a bunch of different stages. This event is a longer one. It's 7 stages, but each of the stages is only 35,000. So the stages themselves are the easiest, but also there is 7 of them if you want to get the special camo. If you just want the specific vehicle, then you only have to complete 6 of the stages, so you can miss one if you want. And also, if you want to, you can also GE the stages, but I wouldn't recommend that, because as I said, this event isn't as hard as some of the other ones. 35,000 mission points in air battles is really not too hard. That's a couple of hours of work, depending on what you're playing. And there are certain vehicles where you can get it done super efficiently, and you don't really have to think about even playing against other players if you play like simulator and realistic. Stuff like, for example, the SP2C5 for France or even for Japan nowadays works really well at just ground pounding. Stuff like the IL-2s or the IL-10s or the IL-8s, or even things like the 82s, the 84s. You could go after AI targets. Yeah, you'll probably die over and over again, but you get the score pretty quick, especially once you get efficient at it. And in something like Simulator, you don't really have to think about anything, because most of the time it's PvE, so you can just kind of hit things up. The other thing is to also change vehicles. You can't just play the same thing over and over again. You'll go nuts. Most people that I see go nuts when it comes to War Thunder, they have a singular objective and they focus on playing a singular vehicle. So it might be nice that you've picked up like some kind of premium in the pack sales, which are going on right now. But also at the same time, you do need to actually relax. You do need to be able to chill. And by chilling, to me, that's always playing different stuff and focusing on different things. So don't just play one thing over and over and over again because it's the most hyper-efficient thing. Because yes, you may get the event done quicker, but at the same time, you'll have a worse time. And you need to have a balance between fun and efficiency. And so having different vehicles and different tech trees that you can go to that you enjoy and chill with is very, very important. Another thing to also focus on when it comes to this event is actually breaking the event down. So 35,000 mission score isn't a ton over 2 days compared to most events. As I said, you can get it done in a couple of hours in air, but there are things that you can do to focus on first before you even think about the 35,000 mission score. Number 1, there's a bunch of monthly decals going on right now, and the monthly decals end on the 7th of November. So they basically end at exactly the same time as the middle of this event happens. So you can focus on those decals until, they end, and then another set of decals will start again, and there'll be some air ones in there too. So if you complete the decals, you'll actually be able to get a ton of mission score before you actually think about it. There's certain decals, such as the Vekusta emblem, where you just have to play some German air vehicles and get placed 1 to 3 in the team a few times. There's a Chinese one where you have to get 10 air-to-air kills in realistic. There's a Japanese one where you get 50 players defeated with Japanese air vehicles. So you can see that there's a lot of them that you can kind of focus on, which you can do. And then, funny enough, the event will go very quickly for you. Another part of it is dailies, being able to do your dailies every day. Once you do those, you realize that that's probably 5 to 10,000 score without even thinking. Because some of the dailies actually, they push forward the battle pass, and at the same time, some of them can take a little bit more time, than other ones. So that can easily be something that gives you a head start on the event. Other stuff as well is special tasks, of course, and also battle pass challenges. The one that's available right now, which is the Schiavona's Strike, which is just assists or kills. Obviously, that can be done in air. The Manipula Tactics, unfortunately, is a ground one, so you might want to get that one done quickly. But then there's one that starts on the 5th, which is play 75 missions while destroying at least one player's vehicle. You can do that in air battles, and also, the two last the two last stars will be available during that time. So it's just another thing to focus the mind on instead of the event itself. You can also focus on grinding. Set yourself a goal. Do you want to get a specific vehicle researched? Do you want to spade a specific vehicle? This update is probably going to come out in the middle of this event. So are there new vehicles that you're looking forward to? Are there ones which you personally want to kind of grind towards? Maybe there's a certain area of the tech tree you want to focus on instead of that. All of these things are very important, and all of these things are generally forgotten when it comes to these things. You have to have little goals, because then when you complete the little goals, it makes the big goals a little bit easier. And the major thing is you need to have fun. You need to enjoy yourself doing these things. If you're finding it where you are just not having a good time, you are struggling mentally with the event, you're getting annoyed, or you're surrounded by people who are annoyed and they're getting more and more aggressive, more and more, offensive of the game, doing the whole FU thing, screw this game, yada yada, it's going to affect you mentally. You have to put yourself in a space of positivity for these things. Otherwise, what's going to end up happening is even if you achieve the goal, which is getting the XF5U, you're going to resent it because your experience of grinding it is going to be bad. And therefore, the prize will not feel good. It will actually feel like you have failed, because the journey is actually the part that you remember the most, not the actual vehicle itself. People remember grinding events. They don't always remember actually playing the event vehicles, because a lot of them are, not exactly fantastic. And the XF5U is one of those which is a great collector's item and generally will be quite fun in certain areas, but won't exactly be the best vehicle. So you've just got to be careful of these things. You have to find ways that you enjoy yourself. Even if that's just, hitting bases with a MiG-21BN, whether it's like, I don't know, playing the F5s, or whether it's just wandering around in a P-51, actually kind of cosplaying as a World War II pilot. Whatever you feel actually works for you, you do. Remember, this is your event. This is nobody else's. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Focus on your fun. War Thunder, as I said, is a game which works best as individuals running as a team. And that works. So just focus on that. Focus on doing all of the little tasks. Focus on the decals. Focus on the dailies. All these little things. And the event will be a breeze for you. And you get some wonderful stuff. The loading screen is fantastic. The decals are great. And then also at the same time, the vehicle itself is a lot of fun. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time.
I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecovo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.